moment with ending a live broadcast. And apparently you can't do that with Google Hangouts or YouTube. So I appreciate everyone who stuck with me, and I am here now. And if you will please, if you're a viewer, if you'll go in and share the link and make sure that everyone knows where we are. Again, I apologize for your patience, and this will be recorded. So if anybody was not able to deal with that craziness, they can go back and actually look at it later. So my name's Ashley, and I'm here from Healthy in a Hurry Essential Oils. And I am here tonight to discuss with you some digestive issues and how to actually help them naturally with essential oils and oil-infused supplements and products. So what I want to first of all start off by saying is that I am not an expert in this matter whatsoever. I am really speaking to you as someone that has done a lot of my own research and helped my friends through this, and also someone that, you know, I really am an avid reader and I like to research and figure out things and share them and try to help people. So again, this is not information coming from a medical professional. I am not in any manner here to diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure, but I am just here to share this information with you and hope that it can benefit you in some way. So please bear with me. And I hope that you will actually be able to, you know, stick with this and learn from it, no matter what's going on with the crazy technology issue. So I'm sorry I'm so distracted by it, and I will try to get through it for all of you. So I see Nicole Poland, and I hope hopefully she's helping some other people get on here, because I am live, and I'm hoping that that helps some people get in and access this information that really need to. All right. So first of all, I am also using a script, and I want to try to stick to that because I had a lot of issues and questions that you guys brought up. So what I'm going to do is go through that and try to be as deliberate as possible. So the importance first and foremost, so Young Living as a company really is about a lifestyle. It's not about curing certain problems or helping certain issues. It's really about living a lifestyle that is healthy, and that's why wellness, purpose, and abundance. Wellness is first and foremost. So I do have to mention the importance of diet. The best way that we can really avoid having digestive issues is, quite frankly, to eat a whole foods diet from verified sources. That includes, of course, pastured and grass-fed meat and dairy products, and things that are free of chemicals and preservatives. And you're also going to, with that, you really want to look at low sugar or no sugar options if possible. So I'm going to go through this, and the importance of being regular and looking at what you take in versus what you put out is something that really is going to be our theme as we go through all the information. So when I say what you put in is what you take out, you know, if you are eating 4 times a day, you should be going to the bathroom and having, you know, some kind of something other than just liquid come out of you at least, you know, 4 times a day. So that's what we're really going to look at. And also just want to mention, because when we were with Gary at the farm, he really did talk about exercise and how that's key to actually getting your body functioning and moving. So diet and exercise are key, but there's many amazing ways that our Young Living supplements and oils can help. So also recognition of conditions. So many of us have issues with the frequency, consistency, and painfulness or discomfort when we go to the restroom. So as I talk about each of the supplements and oils that can be used, please think of how they could be beneficial to you and your personal situation and health. Each person is different, and it's important to research things on your own and figure out the best regimen for your body. Because again, all of us are going to have different things that work for us and that are, you know, helpful for our systems. So what are healthy bowels? I mean, that's the first thing I just want to talk about. So what they are is healthy bowels are important and key for all of our issues in our body in general. They are the command center of the immune system. They eliminate the waste products in our entire body. They are where all the nutrients are absorbed into our bloodstream. And if your bowels aren't working properly, then it is impossible for the body to actually be in optimal health, and it's open to many different health risks. So that's something that I really didn't know a lot about before, and I would get very confused with people who had colon issues, you know, and weren't actually able to, you know, really have a proper immune system, or they had a lot of autoimmune issues or other things that happened to them. So I want to talk about the importance again of just the healthy bowel importance. I'm going to go in and jump right into the supplements, and I want to talk first about probiotics. And this is something that is pretty near and dear to me, because it's been really in the last year where I found myself looking more and more at fermented foods and looking at more and more getting those healthy bacteria into our gut. Because if we don't have the healthy bacteria in our gut, then the unhealthy bacteria are a lot easier environment for them to spread and flourish, instead of having that healthy gut flora and those healthy living organisms in there that can break down our food for us. and help the absorption into the bloodstream. So probiotics and food that you can get them from are going to be any of those fermented foods like sauerkraut or kefir, kombucha. There's many other ones as well, but you make those at home or buy them at the store already prepared. But if you're not eating those 3 times a day with every meal, then you probably are lacking in those important probiotics in your body. So Life 5 is the one from Young Living, and the reason we need them is that as we take more and more synthetic drugs into our body, we eat more and more sugar, and we eat a very low fiber diet in general. All of those things break down our intestinal flora, which means it does not prevent the proliferation of those harmful bacteria into our body like we wished it would. So in each capsule from Young Living, you have 5 strains of that healthy bacteria. So what is really important about having all those strains in one capsule is that you are actually able to promote healthy absorption of nutrients, block out a lot of those bad things or pathogens that could be in your body, and it's pretty easy for you to do. There's over 1 million active cultures in each Life 5 probiotic. So a great place for you to start if you are not eating fermented foods or taking a probiotic is you simply would add that onto your daily regimen. And I think that's something that a lot of us, and a lot of Americans in general, can look at and consider. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is really what's going to take up a good majority of our time together, and that is something I think is pretty cool to look at, and that is enzymes. So enzymes, I love talking about them because I think it's one of those things that's just this wonderfully complex, bioorganism that we all forget a lot about. I mean, I remember learning about enzymes when I was probably in biology and in chemistry, but didn't really think about what they were. So enzymes are simply the biological catalyst that speeds up chemical reactions to all living things. Okay, so they are what causes the change to speed up the naturally occurring chemical reaction to anything that's living in our bodies or that we put into our bodies. So early signs of enzyme deficiency. They will manifest themselves as heartburn, gas, bloating, fatigue, headaches, stomach aches, diarrhea, constipation, yeast infections, psoriasis, eczema, pain, and all kinds of issues with any of the organs in the digestive tract. So what I think is so incredibly interesting about that is that not only can they be deficient, but these enzymes can actually go inactive in our bodies. And that means these chronic issues will continue occurring over and over again until we're actually able to replenish our bodies and get into what we need. So what they do is they turn our food into energy, and they facilitate the use of that energy. So there's 2 major types of enzymes in our body. There's metabolic, for the metabolic process in our body, and then there's digestive. So we're going to focus on digestive for a few minutes. So they turn the food we eat, again, into energy. So if we take in food and it's not being turned into energy, it's probably going to our body either as fat or as waste products and not being used efficiently and properly by our body. So something that I would say was really interesting when we were on the farm is that everyone says, oh, of course I take enzymes, and really educated us a lot about the reasons why they take them every day. So enzymes in our bodies do not naturally exist over 108 degrees Fahrenheit, which means when we take in things that have been pasteurized or commercially prepared, those foods are very difficult for our bodies to actually break down and use the energy. This would also be in general cooking of food, which most of us do often. So raw food diets, of course, are easier to break down, which a lot of us know already, but if you don't eat a raw foods diet, then you definitely need some of these enzymes that Young Living offers. So essential enzyme is an overall enzyme that helps with pancreatic support. So the pancreas provides that glucose that we need for energy throughout the day. So we definitely need glucose to continue having sustainable energy and moving forward with actually being productive in our day. So this is a recommended one for everyone. And the similar one to essential enzyme is actually the Mightyzyme for kids. So essential enzyme was going to be the most basic enzyme that they have, and then essential enzyme 4, that is going to be one that helps with a high protein diet. So if you're someone that eats maybe a paleo type of diet or you eat a lot of protein, then you would take the essential enzyme 4, and that 4 just is basically the differentiation between the two is really its amount of enzymes contained in it that help with the breakdowns of proteins. So if you're someone that gets maybe gas, cramps, all kinds of issues after you eat things that might be high in protein, essential enzyme 4 would definitely help you on top of those essential enzymes that we could all take for regular digestive health. Allerzyme. I find this one very intriguing because a lot of people ask questions about, food allergies or, environmental allergies, and this one is going to help relieve those symptoms because it's going to utilize the nutrients that actually come into your body from the food, and it contains bee pollen and many other things that are going to combat allergens, and that will help prevent gas and bloating. When we're allergic or sensitive to things in our digestive tract, we actually end up being bloated or gassy, almost when we just look at the food. And that is a very harmful effect on our bodies. So allergyme is one to keep around with you. If maybe you're allergic, or I shouldn't say allergic, that's a horrible word because it's usually sensitive to maybe dairy or gluten, then allergyme is what you would add in during that meal or before that meal to actually help you break it down while you're ingesting it. And then detoxime. I find this one a little funny because, the joke is like we might like to eat junk, but we'll just take our detoxime and we'll be okay. So this helps with the healthy enzyme production in general. So it helps aid your body in actually producing the enzymes it's supposed to produce to break down your food in the first place. And it also eliminates toxic waste. Our body treats processed foods and sugar as toxic waste. So if you do eat an unhealthy diet and you're unwilling to change that, then taking detoxime will actually make those, waste products move through your digestive tract a lot smoother and quicker. So all of this information is found mostly in the desk reference, and on page 454, and I did want to show some people that because I think there's a lot of you guys that might not have the desk reference, but on page 454, there's just a fabulous chart that I think could benefit a lot of you all that are looking at maybe getting into to really looking at these enzymes. And it is recommended that most people need all 4 to use at different times. I know you're not going to be able to see a great view of it, but if you have your desk reference, this quick reference guide is going to talk to you a lot about, if you eat this, maybe you should take this, what could be helpful at different times when you're ingesting different types of foods. But for me, I really think that, what holds true is just the concept of having those enzymes. And with children, they do make the Mightyzyme, and it is usually in stock, unlike the Mighty Bites that a lot of us wish were in stock more often. The next thing we're talking about, so enzymes, I really think that a lot of you all that are watching this can maybe think, okay, well, if I just took a probiotic like Life 5 and helped with enzymes, then I wouldn't have all the other digestive issues because maybe they're really things that we identify as stomach or lower gut or colon issues that we think could be helpful if we could actually break down the foods we're taking in. So next are all the colon health ones in general. So what is our colon? So our colon isn't the same thing as our rectum, which I had someone kind of ask me a question about that earlier. Our colon is our small and large intestines, which makes up a huge amount, really the biggest amount of space in our digestive tract. And that's, again, what I was saying earlier, that's where all of our nutrients are absorbed. So the first one is Comfortone. And so Comfortone is one I actually mentioned to a friend tonight. I think you need Comfortone. And this is an herbal colon cleanse, and it's specifically designed and able to focus on cleaning the colon. And what it does is it takes away the concentration of gas and waste products maybe we got from eating something that didn't agree with us, and it actually helps our bodies get rid of them naturally. So not just like pushing them out and getting rid of it unnaturally, like a lot of other things we get over the counter could do. This helps you naturally rid your body of that issue. And until you're using the bathroom really 3 or 4 times a day, however many times you're taking in food, Comfortone is one that a lot of people could benefit from because it's going to help you naturally get rid of those waste products and that discomfort you probably have if you are, not able to go to the bathroom after maybe a big meal, or maybe don't even go every day. So we need to be going again 3 to 4 times a day. I'm going to keep saying that because I think it's so important for us to examine that. And if you're not doing it, it's a great place to start with these products and with an overall cleanse of our systems. It's also recommended that Juba Power, which is great for our liver health, and I'm not going to go into that too much because I feel like that's a whole different class, but that should be taken in conjunction with Comfortone because you're trying to detox your system together. So if you're not going to take Juba Power, which is a lot more intense, then a great thing to do is just to drink lemon in your water every day. It's a gentle detox of our liver, and all of us can benefit from that, and it does help you keep more regular. So the next one is ICP, and this is one I feel like comes up a lot on people's Zyto scans. And let me explain this in a slow way because there are chronic conditions that line up with what this product does. It's an intestinal fiber cleanse. So coarsely ground grains help loosen and process anything that may be stuck in our intestinal tract. So if you have nasty stuff stuck in your intestinal tract because maybe your intestinal tract is damaged, or it has pockets in it, or it has places where maybe you've had a parasite, or maybe you just have small pockets that are damaged, this would be a great place to start because it would help clean out anything that could get stuck in those damaged parts of your intestinal tract. And that then causes inflammation and discomfort. So we know inflammation is the key to most disease states, and you want to rid yourself of any inflammation you could have by having those things in your intestines you don't really need in there. So it's a great one that's going to help. If you have any issues with those organs especially, you should try this regularly. And it's another one that if maybe you try Comfortone, you don't feel like it's working, ICP can be used in conjunction, or you can move to that immediately after you've tried Comfortone. You can move and see if ICP is really what you need, those fibrous particles to actually clean out your intestines. So Digest and Cleanse. Digest and Cleanse is probably the mildest of the three, and this is really an oil that, this is really a supplement similar to the oil Digest, and this is aimed at just really maintaining a healthy bowel and stimulating the liver, the gallbladder, and your stomach secretions. And this is one that can be taken every day as prevention from actually feeling that discomfort, and it will help aid in digestive health because it helps bring all three of those things together that really aid in healthy digestion. So again, liver, gallbladder, stomach, and that's where we're getting those two secretions from the gallbladder and the liver, and then our stomach has to actually still secrete the acid to help break down our food as well, and that's an issue a lot of people have. So this is one that's great way to prevent any of those things from happening. Digest, I do want to talk about this briefly. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I think a lot of you are familiar with it. But this one is great for all things digestive, including anything that's going to be burning up here, or maybe having loose stools, or being constipated, those things down there. It's a great thing to try, and it's one that can be, again, with a normal supplement program or occasional use. It can be taken internally in a capsule. It can be taken internally if you can stand the taste or smell, just with a drop in honey, or with just in your mouth directly. It can also be applied topically, so just depending on your comfort level and what you actually need at that moment. Milder issues. So these are the two oils I'm focusing on, are Digest and then peppermint. So with milder digestive issues, peppermint is a great one for occasional heartburn, as well as other things that we've already previously discussed. And the reason peppermint's great is that it stimulates the colon to contract. So it stimulates our colon to actually contract, which makes things move along instead of staying stuck in there. So I read a lot about constipation and a lot about having hardened waste products in our body and having them build up through our colon and through our intestinal tract, and how it can make you so very sick. So I would encourage you, if you do have an issue with not being able to use the bathroom regularly, please discuss it with your doctor, discuss it with your upline team in Young Living, or just those around you, about what things you want to try first, because I would really encourage you to delve into some of these healthy options. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the very end, about some things that I would suggest you may want to try from Young Living. Kids. So kids in general, this is something that we all bring up because kids tend to have a problem with overuse of aids and going to the bathroom. And I think we can all read between the lines on that. So for kids, peppermint's a great one that helps a lot of children, and Digest as well can help children. Just dilute it or cut the amount depending on the size of your child. There isn't a ratio of exactly what you use for a 70-pound child versus a 40-pound child. But what you're going to do is just make sure that if you use 3 drops internally in a capsule, then maybe your kid that's a third of your size just needs 1 drop, and maybe topically. So I would always caution you that less is more with kids, and to try it that way. But really, these oils that are adult oils, they can still be used on kids. You're just going to want to dilute them and use them in the exact same way. Life 5 can be used in kids, and I would encourage you, again, depends on your child, depends on your comfort level, or look at a kid's probiotic in general. But kids, again, still need that healthy gut flora and that maintenance. And then the Kid Sense Mighty Thyme, it contains all of those enzymes plus peppermint. So that's going to really speed up the digestive process for your kids. So hopefully if they have chronic, bathroom issues, then maybe you can prevent that by just getting them the Mighty Zyme. And for any issue where kids having trouble using the bathroom and a young child, I would highly recommend Gentle Baby. I use that oil regularly for any kind of digestive discomfort with my 2 kids that are under 2, and it really seems to work with gas or cramping, anything they have on their bellies. And you also can look at the regular ingestion of Ningxia Red. And the reason you would look at the regular ingestion of Ningxia Red is that its overall nutritional content, the protein from the wolfberry, the fiber content, the immune boosting activities that are caused by that dense antioxidant content, all of those things are going to promote healthy bowel function. And that is the key here. And it's also going to promote good gut flora. All those things we talked about. So Ningxia Red is really, it really should be a pillar of your health when it comes to digestion. And it should be something that I would recommend highly for my own family. We use with our kids, and I would suggest that maybe you try that too. So with kids also, I want to keep mentioning on that, yes, ingesting Ningxia Red, but then if you're not comfortable with your kid ingesting oils such as lemon for that gentle detox, that's not really recommended for kids that are 9 regularly, excuse me. But you can also apply, apply that peppermint or digest topically, and then if you're doing occasional ingestion of lemon to maybe help with moving things along, that would be something that you would have to consider yourself. But I know for my family and I would be comfortable doing that on the occasion with my kids. So the real key here that I just want to end with, because I know that a lot of you are probably like, gee, she didn't answer our questions we posted. Well, I did not answer about specific health conditions, but I do want to encourage you, and I want to point this out to you because I do have this book in front of me that I have walked through this with several people, that really the key is you want to look at all these supplements and how they can help you. And when you look in your desk reference or pocket reference, and you look over here, digestive issues are actually on page 579. So what I want you to look at with this, and I'm kind of teaching you a little bit of how to use your resources, is if you are, let's look at this one says, right, constipation. When you look at it, you want to look at the singles or blends and try one of those. The first one for blends is Digest. And then for nutritionals, now that we've talked about why Digest and Cleanse, why ICP, why Comfortone, and then all of the enzymes are in there, you have to piece together your own nutritional strategy if that's something that, is really an issue for you and affecting your everyday life. So what my goal was for teaching this class is that those of you that are affected every day by digestive issues, I hope and pray that through the simple, research on your own, that should only take you 5 minutes or so outside this information of just piecing together your program by saying, okay, I think this one is right for colon health for me, and I think this oil is the one I'm going to try next month for my diarrhea. And what you'll be able to do is figure out a lifestyle that you can live and tolerate. If you have a child that can't go to the bathroom regularly and you're able to buy, one supplement and use 1 bottle of oil a month, that'll be life-changing. So I would encourage you to talk to me after this with specific questions, and also to use your desk reference. If you don't have a desk reference, it is a great resource to purchase, and it has so much information on nutritional supplements outside of just the oils. But what I want to do now is make sure that I covered at least the foundation of what it takes to really have a healthy digestive tract and what you can try, and more information on how they work, because that's something I was very confused about with the enzymes. I didn't understand why proteinase and amylase and all those building blocks for the breakdown of proteins and fats and carbohydrates in our bodies. So please, if you have questions, I'm going to open back up Facebook, and then I have the chat open here as well. So please go ahead and ask that, and I'm happy to answer it if I'm able to, or direct you to a resource that is appropriate. Anybody? All right. I apologize again for the technical difficulties at the beginning of this broadcast, and I really hope that the recording is helpful to some people that were not able to access this, because it is I know it's recorded me saying this, but I just will be honest with you guys. I have done these. This is my 7th one, my first technical glitch, so I guess it's all a learning process for all of us. And I think it goes right along with, say you buy ICP and Comfortone and all those enzymes. It's a learning process about what works for your body best. And so please consider those your options and be your own healthcare advocate and figure out what works for you and your family. I am so blessed by your presence tonight here and you giving up your time. So thank you very much, and please share this broadcast and recording with anyone you know that could suffers from these issues and could use some help. So thank you again for your patience. Good night.